We're giving you your moment to say I told you so and all of that good stuff.
No, I mean, but seriously, like, everybody in America, most people in America is fed up with the identity politics. They fed up with all of the woke agendas, and they want to get back to getting to the money. Really, that's what it came back down to, is that nobody cared about reproductive rights. Nobody cared about it. Nobody cared about the fact that she was a woman. Nobody cared about any of that. What they cared about is they had a sample size of what they experienced over the last 3.5, 4 years versus what they was experiencing. Actually, I'm glad that Trump lost in 2020 because it gave us an opportunity to see what was going to happen or to really appreciate it from my perspective. And really, I don't really care about, what his personal business is. I only cared about whether or not he was going to put me in a position or he was going to represent our best interests. And so that's what you're seeing that happen in America. Most people was tired of the woke agenda, and they only cared about
Define
things.
most, because a lot of people.
Well, you want a popular vote.
No, well, I mean,
And
I was being sarcastic.
No Republican has won a popular vote in a long time.
Yeah, but I was being sarcastic because from my perspective and from my point of view, a lot of the people who I seen just was not going for a woman. They were not ready for a woman to run this country flat out, and they would say it. Like flat out, like we're not ready for a woman to run this country, especially not a black woman. And one of the biggest things that was going against Kamala was the fact that people kept saying, "Oh, now she's black. Like she just now starting to identify as black."
She was incompetent the whole time.
Well, but you said that people
to be fair,
more so wanted to get back to get into the money, and a lot of the people who don't even have that on their mind, it was more so about.
Well,
the
think
fact
about
that
it like
she was a
this.
woman.
I don't think Kamala was incompetent. I think her campaign strategy was very much there.
But she did say something that key. It was key when they said, "Yo, what would you do different than Joe Biden?"
She
said nothing.
That's
right then and there.
That's what she thinks.
Well, I mean, but think about it for a second. Like, even her message that she thanked supporters, she looked drunk. She straight up looked drunk in the whole message.
Did she look drunk or did she look
she was
exhausted?
drunk.
She looked exhausted to me.
Exactly. She ran a whole campaign in 100 days.
She was drunk.
But I will say this. So as somebody that got to work with the Kamala Harris campaign for this election, it was a few things that rubbed me the wrong way. It was a few things that I didn't appreciate that happened during the election cycle. And I just felt like, they really should have, I think that the election was dropped during campaigning.
Absolutely.
Focusing on having musicians at your spot, focusing on
it was a lot they dropped the ball on.
It wasn't even after she introduced her policies and it made sense and all that. I just feel like it was a circus. It was a circus of sorts.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna say it. I really didn't appreciate being invited somewhere and then literally the day of the event being hit up and said, "Oh well, Oprah's team said they only wanted to have a handful of people here." And then when the event happens, you see a live audience full of white folks.
That's Oprah.
I get it, but it was the Harris campaign as well. And that left a bad taste in my mouth. It left a bad taste in my mouth that it was almost, and I don't like agreeing with him, y'all know that. I felt like it was bullying tactics trying to be put into place to force voting.
Oh, no, it worked, but that worked, though.
That definitely worked.
Yeah.
It didn't, obviously. She's not at all.
her favor.
Who we all bullying?
No. No.
worked.
I think, don't say y'all.
Well,
It worked. Listen,
Yeah.
overwhelmingly, black people
they were
black
like
people voted for Kamala
74%?
Harris. No, 78% of men,
Yeah.
91% of women, black women and black men voted for Kamala Harris. So it worked on y'all.
Yeah.
So how do you guys
But
feel about...
they didn't depend on y'all to win the election.
They didn't. How do you guys, I feel like they went deeper and knew that a certain classes of people were going to show up for what they wanted to do as far as agenda.
Especially losing Michigan, is that we have a huge Arab community here.
Yes.
And you were not in support of Palestine.
Yeah.
Of course not, because her husband is a Jew. But what did she think was going to happen in Michigan? We have the largest Arab population in the country.
We do. That's
But
true.
but what's crazy is I know a lot of my Arabic friends felt like it was like we all talk about, you know, the lesser of two evils. They genuinely felt like, you know, like she was more evil, damn near.
I don't feel like,
Because she didn't support them, and Trump said we're going to end this war, period.
But-
and that was what my
But I
friend
will
said.
say though, the mayor of Dearborn speaking up and speaking out about certain things and whatnot, I do think now that a lot of people that voted for Trump, I do think they regret it. Like a lot of the people that are about to be deported.
The most searched phrase after he won was, "Can I change my vote?"
Yes, I saw that.
So listen,
Americans are stupid.
I stay
Yeah. They just need somebody to lead them.
yeah, I stay in a predominant like Indian neighborhood, and my neighbor Abu, he
I didn't laugh.
no, that's his name. Abu.
What was it called?
I didn't laugh.
Okay, well Abu,
Something is the matter with them.
Abu and them, they didn't care. It was whoever was giving them the most money, and so that's who they was rocking with. And so in my neighborhood, like the Indians meet up every day at like 7 o'clock at the park. Smell like onions, but these folks, they
No deodorant.
So like when one do, all do. So I know for a fact they went to the polls in masses and voted for Trump.
That's the thing.
Dang,
that
it ain't
people
she-
don't
I
do.
think that's.
Yeah.
I was about to say that.
So
That's
we
what
don't
we
do-
missing.
and that's-
like we
but
can't
that started
collectively come
with-
Y'all
together.
did
That's
come
what
together.
desegregation.
Yeah, black people did.
No.
Y'all
The-
came
the-
together.
The population of voters who vote came together.
There you go.
There's a whole nother population of black people who don't vote.
Yeah, I have
So
relatives
what I'm
that
saying
don't
is
vote.
I'm cool
exactly.
with
So
that.
I'm saying the
Yeah.
people who we need to be reaching out to and pulling back and saying, hey, let's all get together are the people who we miss.
Why should
Why
I
are you
vote?
cool? Why are you cool with people not voting?
I don't vote.
because I don't think that people that are ill informed should vote.
That's
Okay.
very
Because then
true.
they just gonna vote for whoever is most
Yeah,
popular.
because
But
we
that's
we
what
have
most
Say
of us-
been.
Beyonce, boom, they gonna go vote.
Okay,
That's
well
most of us, though.
let's start here.
Name
right?
recognition and popularity.
Let's start here. This ain't the same Democrat Party as in the 90s.
I agree.
Or the
So
60s.
so what y'all looking at is a extreme liberal left version, and people support it just because they used to voting Democrat.
Because your grandmama told you to.
Correct. But this ain't even remotely what y'all stood for, what even black people stood for over my lifetime.
Yeah.
Because originally the black people were Republicans.
So correct. So if this is not a reflection of what y'all really need in y'all communities, and y'all only voting because this is what we historically done, or because of identity politics, what I'm really trying to understand is, what don't y'all like about Trump? And the reason that I ask that question is because what I've seen over the last month
Oh,
is the whole Democrat Party is blaming each other. They continuing to throw missiles inside of the air. They continuing to
facts.
incite more war. You know what I'm saying? And hypocritical, the very thing that they held Trump accountable for, and said, oh no, the justice system applies to all, and I won't pardon my son. I'm going to pardon my son anyway. Which is cool if he pardoned him, but you didn't have to It's cool if he pardoned him,
Yeah, it's
but
the way
you
he said
but
it.
you
Oh.
don't have to volunteer a lie
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
order
yeah.
to try to make the other guy look bad.
That is the
so
worst.
my
If
he
point
didn't even
is,
say nothing, it would've been
so
all
my
right.
point
I'm
is
going to help my folks.
Meanwhile, back in the ranch, he's a whole 34 count felon who just got every.
Which
Well,
was-
guess what?
Which
I know
was-
you can't get a job being a felon, though.
but here's the
But you could be a president.
But here's the key though.
unfortunate.
But here's the
It's
key though.
unfortunate.
I believe that was election interference also, because the very same people that went and did that to him met with Kamala Harris at the White House prior to filing the charges. That is election interference.